Good morning, everybody. So I am walking the golf course today for the obvious reason. Trails are probably very muddy. How are you all doing? Let's go say hi to the eagle and then I'll do a little bit of a chat. I actually saw two beautiful eagles flying along the Colorado River last week. Here he is. I do believe that December is their migration period along the waterways. But the topic I wanted to talk about today is how do we relate to one another during an awakening? How do we relate to each other? How do we allow our dreams of who we are to fade and crumble, and simultaneously to allow that to happen to our perception of others? Our dreams, our hopes, our expectations of who we want them to be, of who we think they are. So most dynamics in terms of dualistic relationships based on separation, where we are responding to one another from deeply unconscious energies, come from a realm of sublimated, repressed, projected material. And the truth of the matter is that none of that is personal. It feels personal because it's being registered in the feeling, thinking system, but it's not. What it is conditioning. And Carl Jung said it best. Really, it's the collective unconscious. It's this agreed upon makeup of imagery and identity that is established in everything from mythology to religious storytelling and even nature. Oh, even nature. You know, the meaning of the sunrise, the meaning of the moonset, the meaning of a shooting star. You know, the imagery of a prince and a princess, a queen and a king. Who do I need you to be for me in order for me to feel whole, in order for me to feel complete? And if you can't be that for me, if you can't play that role for me, if you can't become what I need you to become, if you're unable to fulfill my dreams and deepest desires, which inevitably you won't, you can't, because nothing can fulfill anything, because everything's already whole and complete. But if you can't be for me what I need you to be for me, where does that leave us? In a deeply wounded space of separation, in a deeply wounded space of fear and attachment and codependency and despair. So The process of awakening is twofold. It's the crumbling of the dream of your own identity, and then it's also the crumbling of the dream of what the world is. In this case, what happened was a deeply personal deconstruction that only through time started to deconstruct in the seemingly external reality or world. And it's still deconstructing. There are still illusions. There's still dreaming that is crumbling apart. And usually when those ideals die, meaning that the recognition that you are who you are and not who I want you to be, when that starts to crumble and die, it's very, very painful to part with our illusions and our dreams, because the reason they're in place in the first place is to keep us safe. It's not actually what they're doing. They're not actually keeping us safe. We think they are. Psychologically, it's keeping us safe from feeling life, from experiencing the totality of existence. But you're not meant to not suffer. A lot of spirituality gives you that idea that, you're meant to feel good all the time, but we're meant to feel. We're feeling, breathing systems. Feeling, breathing systems. So, when the dreams start to crumble and the things that you thought were true turn out to not be that way, and that extraordinarily painful journey of waking up to the truth begins, it's really up to us to stay present and to stay close and to stay connected to what that feeling, breathing mechanism of the physical vessel is doing. The way that it's crumbling, the way that it's shaking, the way that it's crying, the way that it's laughing, the way that it's registering these shifts. It's up to us to stay close and to not abandon ourselves, with a bag of chips or complaining or gossiping or yelling or binging TV and Netflix or going on a 50-mile run. In one way, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there is, but can you stay in contact with yourself in the midst of this unraveling, in the midst of this shattering? Because we do in life, we need people to play certain roles for us to be certain things. And that inner child, that little one that didn't necessarily get its needs met. Most of our little ones didn't get their needs met. Lost my glove. Most of our little ones didn't get their needs met because well, no glove for me. I don't know where it went. I walked a long way, so it could be anywhere. We didn't get our needs met because, we're just not all perfect, right? Mom did the best job she could. Dad did the best job he could with the level of awareness that they were conditioned into. And so the little one that needed to be held, that needed to be sanctified in the love of the caretakers, didn't always receive that. So we've naturally just learned to attempt to receive those needs or get those needs met in the world of form, in that realm. And we haven't yet learned, and we do learn this through awakening, that these callings, these deep yearnings to be held and sanctified in the love of the mother or the father, are internal callings to come home to ourselves, to be with ourselves. And this sounds so beautiful, but when you're in the midst of abandonment and just disheartening grief, or even extraordinary shame at having the needs that you have, it's painful. It's painful. Oh my Lord, it's painful. But underneath all that, there's the subtle, very, very quiet, still being that has the qualities of presence, love, connectedness, peace. And that thirst does get quenched by that, because that is its nature, its completion. So, in relationship, when there is conflict, remember that it's a deep waking up. Conflict's a good thing. So many people avoid it. Oh my goodness, so many people avoid conflict. But I don't know if that's the best route. You know, to turn away when things are difficult, when we're disagreeing, when we're hoping for things that aren't there. There's nothing wrong with that. Face it. You know, meet it. So yeah, this is a long-winded, snowy talk. I hope it meets you wherever you are, in a place of grace and love, and yeah, and that's about it. So I'll see you soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.